the top secret video of the battle. The government's tech agents destroy all other unauthorized stream of the battle. Impressive, Tioli muted to himself, watching the brothers fight. As Tioli watched closely, his phone rang. Reluctant as can be because of his intense interest in the video, he paused the video to answer the call. Yes. Sir, we have someone by the name of President Sfidi on the line for you. The commander's personal secretary said. Who is that? What does he want? Tioli said. He sounded aggravated. He claims to have pertinent information you would like to hear. So just put any stranger that says he has something for me on the phone? No, sir. This number can only be accessed after top security clearance, and he also managed to have a video of a personal interaction between himself and the king of the lions that he sent. What? I thought all feeds were destroyed. That was the initial conclusion to the matter. Should I notify tech department about it? No. Send the video to me and delete all other copies of it. And yeah, put him through. Yes, sir, right away. So, who are you and what do you want? Tioli said as soon as the cell was directed to Prasinos. Good day, great commander, and congratulations on your new position. I must say, it's a great honor. You say something else that I did not ask and we are done, Tioli replied. Of course. My name is Prasinos Fidi, and I represent the cancer family in this whole situation. I see. How do I know you are saying the truth? The video I sent to you is the only that is around. It is proof that I had something you were sure was gone. It takes a lot of secret knowledge to outsmart our government nowadays. Old knowledge that only we cancers have access to due to a series of raids that I am sure you were aware of. Or isn't that the real reason your government wanted us gone? Did I say more? What do you want, Prasinos? I would like to make the conversation private and go off record at this point. I will continue when I see I am not being recorded or traced anymore. Okay, Tioli said. He pushed the button on his phone to keep from recording the conversation and also stop the trace on the caller. He was still not sure about him. So what are you talking about? Or should say, we have allied with Draco and are about to help him kill you for what he felt was betrayal towards him. You are calling to let me know you are going to kill me? No, Commander. To let you know I have been contracted to do so, but whether or not it will happen is entirely up to you. Tioli laughed before he continued. What are your terms? Before I continue, may I advise you to take me seriously? We cancers like to do things in a certain way. Your death will mean nothing to us unless, of course, you are in the way of progress. This is a way to let the world know we are coming to make the world our kingdom. As for the choice, will you join our cause for the chance to become one of the greatest lords of the new government we are striving to create? As opposed to the Zebran weaklings you are forced to serve, even with all that power they claim to have given you. How dare you, Tioli yelled in anger. What a cowardly act to back your words through the phone. We are simply giving you a chance to finally be your own man and make your own decisions, Prasinos replied, calmly as he had so far. If it was left to you, I don't think you would want to put your men in harm's way so two brothers could solve a family feud. You can finally be king of the barons and steer them to the right path you want them for. So you're telling me either I join you or the other choice is death? Draco asked. You are quite perceptive, sir. But I wouldn't put it that rudely, as you could someday be one of the kings. A king that can finally realize any dream he wants. I am doing just fine. If you think I will stoop so low to become a member of a deranged team, you must be out of your mind. Tioli could hear Presinos take a deep breath before he continued. Commander Tioli, you know as well as I do that one of the only few men that did not allow the Zebrans to take over the Baron Society was President I.B. Eggons. Now that he is out of the way, there is nothing stopping them from taking control. It would seem the Zebrans are doing just fine. After all, the one man that could only truly stop them is who they have just made the overall head of the Baron army. You. This is their way of shutting you up. What we offer is a chance of redemption. As much as I want to tell you otherwise, your word holds some substance. This is a strange request to make on the phone. How about we meet in person? Tioli replied with his fist clenched on the desk, trying his hardest not to show his anger mood. I see that I have not changed your mind. Presinos managed to figure out Tioli's true intention. I didn't think I would so easily either. So I take it you have made your choice. Listen, Presin, or whatever you call yourself. I have just lost someone dear to me. We shared a common belief that was beginning to take shape until his sudden death. Now here you are, a stranger from nowhere, telling me to betray my love for the country. As for my life, many have tried to take my light, but as you can see, I still stand. Come at me and witness your life's end, Tioli said as he dropped the phone. Shortly after Tioli cut off the phone angrily, the emergency speaker to the highly secured, supposedly impenetrable Adisparastos building spoke. But alas, this is the card I have been dealt, and I will play it to my best of knowledge. See you soon, Commander. Prasinos' feedy voice rang through the whole building. It was the first time in over a century that a highly secured building had stood, that they had to turn on the emergency sign, because despite several attempts of different kinds, including the electrical one that just happened, it had not been breached until that moment. Tioli got up while he morphed to his infamous beastly gorilla self. His heightened instinct helped him detect for any dangers around. As protocol demanded, soldiers and guards of different race and species began coming into Tioli's office to shield and lead him into some part of the building that is most secured. As Commander was being gathered away, he began to realize his newfound enemy is a lot more dangerous than he had thought or even wished. As Tioli settled into the secured room, he had his assistant send in the video Prasinos sent and the one he was watching before. After hours of watching and studying, Tioli, the General Overseer Commander of the Baron Army, decided it is in his best interest to call the King of the Lion Human Kingdom to properly make an alliance with him. King Saneo was happy to receive his call and offer. Chapter 18. Political Grind. I told you he wouldn't go for it, Leah said. So what is the next plan, tall man? Anura had on a beautiful blue top and slim-fitted black jeans. It was not unusual for Anura to dress as such, but the makeup she had on for the occasion was the first in a while. Good thing you planted the hearing device on him. It is impossible to hack anything in that building other than the speakers, Prasinos replied. As for Tioli, may I suggest we wait? We wait for what? We have already threatened the person. We might as well just get over with, Leah replied. The three were in a well-hidden secret location by Motemleo City. She helped set up some appliances that will keep them undetected from the outside world. Anura helped with positioning the guards around the building while President Fidi made the phone call to Tioli. It is important we wait. Whether you like it or not, it is almost next to impossible to kill Tioli at this point. So why did you even call him? I want him to be mentally defeated first, President replied. He's a weak enough man. I can manipulate his actions to do my bidding. Why waste such wonderful asset? What are your intentions? Anura replied as she walked up to Presinos, who stood up close to the entrance. Draco made it perfectly clear. Tioli is to be dead. Hey, be my guest, Presinos said as he fell back with raised arms. I'm not going to stop you from carrying out Sir Draco's order, but I do know your chance of coming out successfully and alive is slim to none. So are you saying you will not help? Anura asked angrily. Why would I want to help my friends die? Presinos gave a rhetoric reply. Listen, my plan will eventually get Tioli killed, but it will take a tremendous amount of patience to make it achievable. Okay, let's say you're right, Anura began. How will you manipulate a man like that? I have already begun, Presinos says, confidently. I bet right about now, he will feel vulnerable enough to want to make an alliance with Sunil. I made sure of it with a video I sent him in addition to the other things he has in his position to prove they were a good match. How do any of these things help us? What is wrong with you? Anura asked. I did not just waste my time breaking into the Adiprastos for nothing. A task you wouldn't have to be able to complete without my knowledge of hacking. So you should be thanking me, not complaining, Presinos replied in his signature calm mood. First it was Salin, now it's him. Why does Draco think he can do just whatever he wants with our crew? Anura said aloud. Because he can, Leah replied as she sat in a nonchalant manner while Anura seemed to be the one arguing intently. And what is your problem? Why are you just sitting there like a tortured soul? Anura directly her anger to Leah. There is nothing bad about the plan if Tioli still dies, Anura says. Presinos has a good plan. We should give it a shot. Are we just going to let him change the plans like that? We don't even know anything about you. What if he works for the other side? Anura spoke to Leo as she looked at Presinos directly with folded arms. Is that even your name? Yes, it is, Anura, Presinos said with a smile. I am the Cancer chosen to represent my people in the matters of strategic war plans and ensuring victory. I would not put the mission in jeopardy because of it, among other things. So you see, there is nothing to be worried about. Yeah, I'm sure, but to be on the safer side, you need to check with me on every decision you make concerning this matter, Anura replied. Very well, I shall do as you want, if that makes things go well between two of us. Anura says as she turned around to walk back to her seat where she saw Leah smiling mischievously at her. Shut up! You did the same thing to Salin. That is because, unlike Salin, who I am beginning to find pleasant, he is not here to stay. Besides, you only argue with a guy like this when you are really into him, Leah replies. You bitch, Leah said as she looked at Presinos, embarrassed tremendously. She then ran and pounced on her. Anura laughed as she defended herself against her friend's angry slaps. They were both in full human form. Enough of that, guys. We have work to do, Presinos said. So you know, Anura yelled out, taking a break from eating Leah. I have no idea what she's talking about. Oh, Presinos said. That's too bad. I was just going to say I see myself feeling the same way about you. Really? Is that so? Anura said as she caught herself walking up to Presinos but then stopped herself. Whatever. Leah busted out laughing. You were so awkward. I said shut up, Anura yelled. We have to finish the task ahead. First. Then we can focus on the possibility of other things, Bachelor said. Like I said, whatever, Anura answered again. Well, while we wait for the bait to catch on, our next move should be how to get more cancer soldiers on the team. We were promised a lot more than you bought, they added. The quality of what I brought is what's important here. Each and every soldier in my battalion have at least a decade of mortal combat training while their bodies were modified to the highest enhancement possible. As you are well aware of, although we cannot shape into any other form, our bodies can tolerate a higher form of modification than any species today. What about you? Anura asked. How many years do you have under your belt? Enough to lead soldiers like mine, Brasinos replied. Anura appeared to be even more impressed. I suppose you don't have any other agenda for joining us, other than what Draco has offered, Leah asked. Our major goal is to attain what any man should have, a right to live freely and peacefully without prejudice. We have been hunted far too long. If you are that strong, why do you like them hunt you? Anura asked in her usual blunt manner. When the whole world turns against one particular species under the course of a year, the chances of extinction is perfect. We have survived for almost a century from the tyranny of the world government and still managed to grow as little as possible. We define the word strong, Anura, Brasinos concluded. His soothing voice, calm persona, together with an intelligent and mysterious side to him, made Leah blush so much that she walked out of the room. Anura shook her head and continued. Okay, so what do you propose we do next? We need more heat. This still feels like a fight between brothers. We need it to be a lot bigger than that. I proposed an official declaration. We announce to the world of our true intent by relaying the message to the world broadcasting media. You think we did not already think of that? For us to make such an announcement, we have to make sure we are ready. We are talking on this World Army year. Our only advantage is having your species on our team. However, it is not an advantage anymore with this size of army you offer. I understand and are well aware of your strength, Cancer Man. However, with battalions of lions, barons, and special cases on their side, we are doomed to fail. Not if we strategize well, Brasinos replied. May I advise you to read about 300 Greek soldiers who once stood up to a Persian king and won in a losing manner. We want to survive and rule, not sacrifice ourselves in the process. In this case, we are the Persian kingdom without the size of army advantage, Anwar replied. That is, we are at a loss on all sides. I see and understand your perspective, Brasinos answered. I am happy to be working with you. Compliments won't get the job done, Anwar replied. That is correct. A detailed plan will. I say we make our statement now and attack the capital of the world. We were not able to take down Senil, and now you want us to take on Molian. How do you see that going well for us? My men were under strict instructions not to fully engage. Our time in joining this war is to do anything within our capacity to win the war against a government that wants to destroy us. We are not here to solve feuds between brothers. The throne is key to getting more men. You partly witnessed the vast army Senate controls. Yes, I did. It was quite the sight. That is why we have to control them some other way. We simply cannot afford to lose men in the process of trying to get more. Believe me, Anura, we Kansas have perfected the art of fighting 1,000 with one. This war is also very important to us, President said as he walked up to Anura, who sat on the sofa. I was chosen to represent this voyage because I, President Vidi, is the best among generals that has neither lost a fight nor a war. You best believe I intend to keep my reputation that way, President concluded. Well, Anura said as she got up, let's hope your actions speak louder, President. Have a good day. You as well, President replied as Anura walked out of the room. As soon as she was out of sight, he got his video phone to call. Hey, how are you? President greeted as soon as Jamie picked up. I'm fine, thank you, Jamie replied. Is this a good time? Yes, as you can see, I'm in my room, Jamie said as she showed President around the room. Okay, good. How did your meeting go with Spark? Are we safe? Jamie asked. I wouldn't ask if we weren't, President replied. He wants me to kill Draco. President laughed. How does he propose to accomplish that feat? Well, Draco has taken a liking to me. The rest should be easy, Jamie replied. You know not to do that, right? President asked seriously. You have a way to achieve your goal. I have mine. Let me do my job. Our goals are one and the same. For us to attain it, we need him well and breathing for now. Do not touch him. That's an order. I don't think you are going about this the right way. I understand you can boss me around, but you should at least hear my plea out, boss man. Sorry will suffice, and you do well to not only talk to me this way when we're alone. Okay, Uncle Price. Geez, you talk as if I was not raised by you or something. I know, but it has to be this way outside of our safe confines. As we speak, I'm gaining new enemies by the thousand. I don't want anybody hurting you. Jamie smiles. Protective as usual. I keep telling you I can take care of myself. I am better than most of your award-winning soldiers, you know. Of course, we bled a similar red, President replies. But we cannot be too careful these days. You are strictly on the political side of things, do you understand? Yes, Uncle, Jamie replied. Good. Tell me about your plan. Okay, the way I see it, there are 4 important players in this war. There's Senil of the Lion Humans, Tioli of the Barons and Zebrans, Draco of the Lion Humans, and you, Personal Vito of the Kansas. Do you agree? Jimmy asked. Yes, Personus replied. Please go on. As of now, we have 2 of these key players on our side. We need to get at least 1 more person to our side. The chances of diplomatically approaching any of them to convince them to switch sides are futile. We have to take and assume their position by force. 2 questions. What do you propose will be our candidate and how do you assume control? Personos asked. It would have to be the weakest but also the best pick of them all. Tioli. He has direct control of the Basbarian army and support of another major species, Zebrans. If we can somehow become his voice from the shadows, we shall be winning politically. I see. So what do we need for this to happen? Although Tioli's chain of command has risen tremendously, his bosses have also multiplied with the addition of the Zebran Lords. Since he is also newly appointed together with the commotion that came with the death of his friend, President IB, I don't think our friend has taken the time to know how things work with the Zebrans. We need to use that to our advantage now. I'm listening, brilliant one, Personal said. Jamie smiled as she continued. I will set up a connection between the Zebrans and Tioli by calling the Zebrans leader about how I will be representing Tioli and vice versa for Tioli on behalf of the Zebrans. I will be calling the shots. What is the probability of this working? Personals asked. The society calculated it at 17%. They also said it is at the possible window, so I have to act now. It's been put to a vote. I am sure they sent you a memo of it if you ever check it. Your vote is needed. You know I stay clear of that side of the business. You represent the House of Fidi in those matters. Be careful and put our powerful voice to good use. I'll have it approved right away. Thank you, Uncle. No, thank you. Now, as for the mission, you are not to operate directly with your team. We shall provide lookalikes for you, as many as possible. There would also be professionals to talk in your place, to Tioli and the Zebrans, to convince them of your authentication. They will be talking exactly like you through our appliances. There will be absolutely no situation where you are to show yourself to them. Do you understand, soldier? Yes, sir, Jamie replied. You will have unlimited resources available to you to add anything you think I have missed. The vote should be done by tonight. Okay, awesome. When this is over and the time comes, I will recommend you to take place of the world leader in my stead. And it will not be because you are my niece, but because you deserved it. Remember that, brilliant one. Jamie was left speechless for a moment. She busted out with excitement afterwards. She threw her phone down on her bed as she ran around in her room screaming. Barcelos laughed as he said, "That is not very presidential, Jamie." She was too much into jumping around the room to hear what Barcelos had said. It made Barcelos laugh even more. Chapter 19. I see Jammys. Yes, how can I help you? Tioli asked as he answered the phone. The Baron Commander's assistant had told him a Zebran representative was on the line for him. Good day, Commander Tioli. My name is Jimmy F. I represent the Zebran group when it comes to relating to you. My job is to send your message, whatever it may be, to the Zebran leaders. They will also be relaying a few of their messages through. Why can't I just talk to them directly? Tioli asked. Excellent question, sir. That is because the Zebran political system consists of 47 executive leaders that determine all matter regarding the Zebran communities. For you to talk to them directly will mean to contact all 47 leaders and have them get your message in time. The security clearance for any lone zebras takes a while to clear. The rule holds no exception. I'm sure you understand. That is why we have to devise a way around our laws so you may reach the leaders on time to call a meeting or directly give me your message. Send me your credentials and let's schedule a one-on-one, Tioli said. I have forwarded my credentials to your assistant. Oh, right, it's on my table. As for the meeting, sir, when would you like to come? Let's meet tomorrow around the same time you called, Tioli said. Come down to Adia Prestos. If you check out from downstairs to my office, then I have a message for you. Excellent, sir. I'll be there at noon. Thank you and goodbye. Tioli muttered as he dropped the phone. Simultaneously, as a person named Jamie Hev contacted Tioli, another one of the same name made an equally important call to the Zebran leaders. The cancer team was able to connect to all 47 Zebran leaders by way of a video conference call that they had scheduled with the Zebrans a few days before. The Zebran Lords, better known as the 47s, were all present for the occasion. Hello, and thank you for the meeting with me on such short notice. My name is Jamie F. Jamie's impersonator began as the meeting commenced. She addressed the 47 Zebrans Lord who spaciously sat around encircling our holographic projection. She was dressed professionally in a suit and skirt and a white pearl necklace around her neck. I am the chosen ambassador in charge of getting your message through and on time to Tioli and the Baron army. We know things have been quite hectic over the past few months. In addition, we know that now more than ever, our unity will prove its power as we stand against tyranny. To show support and appreciation of this great accomplishment, the Bureau government has sent me to make sure your needs are met, Jamie F. said. Why didn't this development come up during our last meeting with the Barons a week ago? We assumed our initial way of meeting was sufficient enough, one of the Sebran Lords asked. Commander Tioli personally recommended that I represent our government, but it wasn't until the day after your last meeting with us that I became official. That is why I immediately took it upon myself, with the permission and authority from the Bureau government, to update you. What is the status on the war against Dracos and his hooligans? Another of the 47s asked. Helping Senil is taking longer than anticipated. The last battle between the two brothers ended up in an inconclusive manner. Draco put back his men during the heat of battle, Jamie answered. Doesn't that mean he surrendered? Not quite, Jamie replied. Video shows a bout between the two brothers that led to the end of the battle. What video? Where is it? One of the 47s asked. Yes, the only caption believed to not have been destroyed, Jamie said as she showed the video of the fight between Senil and Draco to the Zebran Lords. The room darkened to show the video projection. As the 47s watched the screen to see what had taken place between the two brothers, the cancer team had eyes on all of the Zebran Lords and scientifically observed their faces and reaction patterns to see if any one of them has grown suspicious of Jamie. Things were going well so far. This is interesting. Draco has acquired the support of Kansas, a Zebran Lord said. This might not be as easy as we thought. It simply delays the inevitable, another 47 member replied. Our Baron army is still twice their size. The only thing they can buy is time. I see, the older member of two Zebrans said. You are too young to remember the active fighting days of the cancer soldiers before they became the hunted ones. They are quite the formidable beasts. Well, from the look of things, they are not as good as you claim. Their glory days may have passed them, the young Zebran Lord named Slatin replied. Your analysis on cancers is not far off, holographic Jamie added. The cancers were thought to be stronger than anyone on the field due to their enhancement abilities applied to their body and mind before the video was made available. Our last stream of a cancer in battle dates back to up to 190 years ago. When we compared the two videos, cancer soldiers from then were quicker and more volatile. If things remain this way, we feel confident in our victory through your tutelage, of course. Haven't you heard? The older Zebran named Zesu replied. You don't judge a book by its cover. You are correct, Lord Zesu. Thank you. We shall not let our guards down and ready our men to the best of their abilities. Zesu did not reply, but Lord Zetan did. Whatever the case may be, we shall be triumphant. You are also correct, Lord Zetan. We strive to attain victory, Jamie F. replied. As we speak, Commander Tioli is planning an assault attack hand in hand with King Sanil. What? When did this happen? A 47 asked surprisingly. He and his colleagues appeared to be surprised and angry at hearing the news. Commander Tioli thought it was best if he worked with King directly so as to make for better plans, Jamie said. We specifically stated that under no circumstances do those two work together directly, didn't we? Lord Zatan added. The rest of the group agreed. What gives Tioli the right to undermine us? Need I remind you, we have the support of the World Army on our side? Would you like me to leave your message at once so he may contact you? Jamie asked. Yes, Zatan answered right away. While you do, tell him that until he meets with us, there should be no contact between him and Samuel. Do I make myself clear? Perfectly, sir, Jamie said. If this is the desire of the 47 Zebran lords, I will go ahead and deliver your message. The Zebrans were all in agreement, as none of the lords raised an objection. If there was a disagreement, the matter would have been put to a vote. I also want to tell you about the new threat Commander Tioli and his army are facing, Jamie began. He goes by the name of Personus Fidi. He's a general in the Cancer Kingdom. We recently acquired a footage of him that shows an encounter with King Sanin, Jamie said as she showed the footage. The war has become more dangerous than we thought. One of the 47 said, if the Cancers are fighting, we may actually lose the Draco. I agree, Zatan replied. This is why we need to play our haste. May I suggest you wait, Zesu interrupted, till our guest leaves before you speak of such a highly classified matter. The Cancer team pinned down Zesu as a potential threat. It meant he would be given special attention to carefully observe his behavior and formulate a plan of deceit that will work for him. If that will be all, I'll be on my way now. Thank you for your time, Zebran Lords, Jamie said as she bowed and signed out. Okay, call Tioli right away and let him tell the news, the real Jamie said. She was in the room with Cancer humans with all sorts of skills to help her aid her work. Afterwards, the call was made to the Addis apparatus with the necessary device put in place to make the call and be certain they could not be traced to their original positioning but somewhere else that further proved their legitimacy as ambassadors from the Zebran Lords. What is it this time? Tioli asked as she spoke to Jamie's impersonator for the second time. I'm sorry for the interruption, but I received a message for you from the 47s. Okay, what? Tioli asked. They have asked for a meeting with you and specified that you do not have any more direct dealings with King Samuel until you have met with them. You go ahead and tell your lords, I am doing what is necessary to be victorious, Tioli said as he began to become agitated. I understand, Commander. I shall do so right away. Before I do, I was told to remind you of the allies with the government and its war army. Are they threatening to do something if I don't meet with them? Tioli asked angrily. It would be for the benefit of us if the government doesn't get involved. But yes, sir, I think they are threatening to take actions. How did they know I met with the king in the first place? Did Seni meet with them? The 47s are quite resourceful when it comes to information gathering on subjects they find important, Jamie answered. Should I go ahead and tell them of your refusal, sir? No, set up a conference call with them. Do it between now and tomorrow. I would like to get this crap over with. Yes, sir. I will schedule a conference call between you and 47s by tomorrow at noon. In the meantime, my team and I have encountered a situation that needs your attention. What would that be? Tioli asked. A male human of most likely Cancer origin requested a meeting with the Zebran Lords. The 47s granted him audience because he said he had information about you. What is his name? He goes by Personus Fidi, Jamie added. He also sent us a never-seen footage of the war, which you assured us but one has been destroyed. Tioli was not one to hide his temper, but this time he was beyond angry. He remained calm. Aren't you supposed to be loyal to the Zebrans? I am loyal to what pays my bills, sir, Jamie answered. If Prasino succeeded in making you look bad, there will be no need for me anymore. I am simply protecting my interest. I see, Tioli replies. I suppose you have more information on this matter? Yes, I do, Jamie answered. In that case, come to my office as soon as possible. I would like to know more about this Prasinos fellow. Very well. I'll be at your office right away, Jamie replied. Before you do, Tioli said, I will send you a clearance card so you'll be able to see me. My secretary will handle the rest. Okay, thank you, Jamie said as she got transferred over on details on how to get her clearance card to enter the highly secured and most impenetrable Adair Pedestals building. In the room where the actual Jamie dished out orders to several professionals that helped make her plans go smoothly, she got another of her impersonator ready to meet Tioli. She was a higher professional of the zebra species, who looked a lot like Jamie. Now, remember your job is to repeat whatever we tell you to Tioli convincingly. You know as well as I that your life and this whole operation depends on it, Jamie said to her double as they applied makeup on her to further enhance their resemblance. I understand, Jamie's impersonator said. I will be on my way now. After the makeup application and some planted micro-recording and hearing devices, Jamie's impersonator drove away to the designated area where she would be given the clearance card. The second the guards showed up at the rented office space chosen for the occasion, they searched the area for any signs of foul play and also searched Jamie. They took pictures of her and collected her fingerprints. The guards also made her take an oath of loyalty before handing her a clearance card. Armed with a clearance card, Jamie the impersonator set out for Alice Pedestals minutes after the guards left. She got in through the building with little hassle to deal with because of her high-level card. Good day, Commander. I am here like you requested, Jamie said as soon as she was allowed into Tioli's office. Yes, come on in, Tioli replied. Thanks for the meeting with me on such short notice. It is my business and pleasure, sir, Jamie said as she took a seat. So let's go straight to the point. Who is Prasinos and where does he fit in this whole thing? Prasinos Fidi is a well-respected and highly decorated general of the Cancer Army. Zebran Intelligence was able to find out the general was specially chosen to lead the mission due to his perfect record in fierce battle. Rumor has it that he led the infamous raid of 2178. Jamie then reached into her bag. I have something that you may find interesting. She brought out a video phone that was playing the encounter Prasinos had with Sanil. Yes, I have seen that video too. Prasinos sent it to me, Tioli replied. Oh, Jamie acted surprised. He has made contact with you? He seems really confident in his ability to take me out, Tioli answered. Now I know the power that drives him to say such stupid things. I'm glad to see that you're unfazed by this figure, Jamie said. The 47s were concerned cancers are now in the picture and against us. We Zebrans have high-level cancers loyal to our cause. Because of that, I'll be able to let you know if an attempt to unlive has been planned out. I'm glad to hear it. I would have my assistant provide you with my direct contact. That sounds good. Thank you, Jamie said as she got up to leave. Over the course of a few weeks, Kansas and Lion Human soldiers planned failed attacks on Tioli. The well-thought-out attacks on Tioli's life failed because Jamie always had information on how and where the assassination attempts would take place. After 4 out of 6 correct calls, Tioli began to rely on Jamie more. Draco and every supporting party involved that knows about the operation were impressed and happy about their newly reacquired unwilling ally. Chapter 20: The Deciding War. Over the past few weeks, the war between two brothers worsened after Draco had tried unsuccessfully to convince Senil to join the cause. The world government called for a ceasefire between the two brothers after the war had attracted the attention of 3 major species. It would seem that their intervention came months too late. Their diplomatic input did nothing to stop the fierce battles that took place in Czech. There were protests of violent and peaceful nature held across the globe. Millions of participants, including a lot that lost loved ones due to the war. Draco tried once more to convince Senil of his goals. The two met face to face through holographic projection of each other in an agreed upon secured location. As you can see, brother, my dreams of a full-on war with the government is beginning to come true. My aspirations are unstoppable. Already, the government has approved the use of any force possible to end the war. That means they are about to join the war. This is exactly what I have been waiting for. My ticket into Molion City. Do you truly think you can defeat the world army with what you have now? Sanu asked. Already, you are being thinned out. I have not used any of my Baron allies against you. You must be a moron to think you can defeat me, not to talk of the world government. I see, Draco answered. I see you like their rule over you. So far they throw you a bone now and then you're fine, right? If your insults are all you have for comfort of your impending defeat, then I will let you have your moment. After all, I am king of a free nation. You call this state of governing free? How stupid can you be for you to believe your own nonsense? Look beyond what they feed you. This government is nothing but a totalitarian rule wearing a disguise of freedom. No, Stanley disagrees. What you are fighting for will do exactly just that. This is a world with leaders chosen by the will of the people. I am satisfied with what I have and glad for it. Our ancestors have fought to protect this very tyranny you stand for. All because you lost the throne to me. I did not lose the throne to you. I was cheated out of it and you know that too. I'm sure you do because the brother I grew up with would never have offered to share something he got honestly. That has always been our unspoken rule. I would never cheat you out of the throne, Sen replied. No, I don't believe so either, but someone did in favor of you. I am more than capable of doing my own investigations. And maybe I will. What do you think I would do to the person personally? Enough! Senu yelled at his brother. I am king and that is that. And I am not trying to change that, Draco replied as he walked towards his brother in his holographic form. At least not anymore. What I want from you is the use of the kingdom's army. If there's any more ounce of truth to my claim about the throne that you know about, you will give me temporary control of the kingdom's army. What makes you think I will grant that request? Sally asked. What I'm offering is a chance to redeem yourself from the ridicule of cheating your way to the throne. This is a chance to prove that the crown belongs to your head. I have a proposal that could benefit us both. I don't need to prove anything to you, but I will hear your proposal, Senim said. You will not be put at risk of losing the throne to me, but instead, temporary control of your army. You want to fight me for my soldiers instead? The king asked. This is my home too. As much as I could be mad at the whole situation, I don't want to see it destroyed. This is the best I could come up with. Whoever wins the next battle between us will have control of the Baron and royal army. This seems very one-sided. What do I get from this deal of yours? How about the fact that you will stand no risk at losing the crown to me? Draco replied. You pompous freak. There was no risk of losing. In case you are blinded by your own pride and don't see you have no chance at winning. Let me explain how things are to you. Your cancer and lion human soldiers put together is only equal to 60% of my lion human army. I have not even started to use the Baron army at my aid. Although, with far less quality soldiers, their army is almost twice the size of mine. You cannot win over me. Then you have nothing to lose. Put actions where mouths speak and take the due, Draco replied. You are right, King Sunny said. I accept your deal. But be rest assured, I intend to show you no mercy once I capture you. Great. I'll keep that in mind. See you on the field, brother. My day of redemption is close. Draco said as he signed out and went offline. Sanu did the same. The next day, after the communication, King Sanu, Lucille the commander, Spark the just, Mark the storyteller, and Lance the chief police sat to make their war strategy. He seemed so sure of himself. I need to make sure we have not been betrayed again, King Sanu spoke in concern. Draco is just trying to mess with your head, Lance said. His combat skills can also be matched with the mental battle he put his opposition through. I know, Lance. We grew up together, Sanu replied. That is why I know it's different this time. He has something up his sleeves, and I want to find it out before it's too late. Lucille the commander also spoke. Ever since Salin the Night Knight's betrayal, the army has gone through high scrutiny and retained on loyalty. Most of the captains and commanders are under surveillance that I have set up with a security team that does only that. I have taken necessary precautions. That is why I can mostly say Draco has no one that works for or with him around us. And I have been working with the Baron Overseer Commander Tioli. We don't keep in contact as much as I would like, but given the alliance we have forged with them and Tioli's growing hatred for the Cancers, I don't see Draco working a successful angle, Spark added. What is the state of the public? Most of the lion human population is in support of your reign. Statistics shows that a lot of Draco lion human supporters come from those who have struggles of different kinds. The shared bond is that they blame their families on you. Supporting Draco is their way of standing against you. Mark answered the king's question. As they should, Tony replied. I am the king after all. The moment Draco rebelled, the divide between lion humans was bound to happen. That is, the human side of us at play. The fact that the ones that chose Draco are not the majority shows you to be the great king that we already know, Lucille added. Thank you, Lucille, the king said as he got up from his throne. His appointees also stood up. You are right, Mark. Draco may be messing with me. I thank you all for the loyalty you have shown. I intend to make our next encounter to be our last, and I'm sure he does too. Make sure the barons are ready for the attack. I want to end this tyranny once and for all. The king sat back down. You may leave now. Sanu's advisors bowed and left the room shortly. Meanwhile, at Adias Pedastus, where Tioli is increasingly getting fearful for his life, he was getting ready to deploy his troops to help Sanu as planned. He had Jami's number on speed dial because of the number of times she had helped save his life from Prasinos and his assassins. Tioli had come to rely on Jami greatly after she had helped in saving his life by notifying him about attempts on his life. She was also helpful with conveying messages back and forth from the Zebran Lords. That is to say, Jami had become a vital part of Tioli and the Zebran operations. As Tioli put the final things in place for the coming war against Draco and the Cancers, he got a direct video call from Jami. Tioli immediately picked up. The Zebrans don't want you to help King Sanil tomorrow, Jami called to say. What? Tioli said. Why? They believe Prasinos is going to make another attempt on your life, as the Cancer already made the declaration in the last meeting, Jami replied. That is why I have to rid myself of them as soon as I can. If that's the only reason, thank them for me, but that's not going to stop me. The Zebrans, and quite frankly I, have invested a lot in you to see things end. They failed all this time they tried. What makes it different this time? The Cancers did not go into detail on how they will go about it this time, Jami replied. They suspect a traitor within their midst, so they are being more careful with their plan. Thankfully, one of the spies was trusted enough to know when they plan to take another hit at your life. When are they going to attack this time? Between now and through the fortnight, Jami answered. They also asked for and successfully collected an overwhelmingly large amount of donation on behalf of taking you out. This is their most serious plan ever. Okay, what's the plan? You are to be flown out to an undisclosed and highly secured location. You and your family, of course. This is to occur as soon as you approve it. It is already on your word. What about Sanil? He's relying on my help and I gave him my word. If you want, I will make sure everything goes as you planned, sir. If the Zebrans approve too, I will have you represent me on the field. You'll be sure to do exactly as I say. I understand. I am going to put in a request right away, Jamin replied. I would also take the liberty of informing King Sanil of the new development. He doesn't need to know a thing. Just do as I tell you and it will be as if I was there, Tioli replied. I understand. I will do as you say, Jamin replied. I will be on my way now to ready the evacuation process. You make sure that by the time I am back, those fools are taken out. All of them. Tioli cut the phone. As soon as Tioli dropped the phone, Jamie, the professional spy, had one of our professional impersonators inform the Zebran lords of the new development. The beautiful slim figure with an innocent demeanor and look headed to the field where the battle-ready battalions of experienced Baron soldiers will be waiting our orders. When time came to turn up the heat on the war, the battleground increased from a length of 3 megacities to 7. It was a spectacular and ferocious sight to see. Men of different species and various levels of combat skills set clashing against one another, all for the sake of making or destroying the dream of one man. At first, it was not clear what the Baron were helping, as Jamie had strategically divided the Baron into 2 groups, where the majority of them are to help Draco and his force, but they are to come half an hour before the other significantly fewer group join the fight. The few Baron groups are to start the fight up in Sanil and then turn against them after majority of the army joins the fight, Jamie instructed the Baron captains. Things were going as planned for Sanil and his men in the beginning of the tough war. The Baron groups that fought with him made his already large army double the size of his operation. The Cancer soldiers on Draco's side seemed to bear the burden of Sanil's sizable army as they were fighting up to 3 men at a time. The king was pleased at the way things were going until the bigger Baron group entered the field to fight. At the sight of them coming, Sanil could not help but laugh at his good fortunes. But as he saw them attack his troops instead, and the smaller group of army also turning against him, the king grew anxious and angry. Sanil realized his fears came true as he witnessed the betrayal. "You spineless cowards!" Sanil yelled from where he watched. He joined the fight to give vent to his anger as he searched tirelessly for his brother. It was to no avail. Instead, he got attacked by Baron soldiers. Sanil the One wore his anger and frustrations on his claw as he tore through his enemy as if they were inexperienced. Psychological toll of the betrayer and far less soldiers that he started with, Sanil and his men began to lose the war. Few days later, victory was declared and Draco had won. Few days after, Sanil was true to his word and gave Draco control over his royal army. They had been reduced from the war, but still enough to make Draco's already formidable force stronger. At the end of the final battle, when Draco had been declared victorious, Lucy spotted the king sitting on the field. "So," Lucy says, as she joined the beloved king, sitting and bumping into him, "How was your day today?" After a few seconds, Sanil looked at her and could not help but smile. "Ha, comme ci, comme ça, mademoiselle. Comme ci, comme ça." The end.